The Sussex Survivor Club.
Yep, that's right. You heard it. It's the unofficial club for those who have worked with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, Archewell, or any related venture that these two come up with and have lived to tell the tale. Honestly, at this point, I feel like we, as a collective, should be honorary members of the Sussex Survivor Club for surviving their endless PR antics. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, I'm Star Chairs, and this Survivor Club is going to teach us a lot about leadership, branding, and well, just being decent human beings. Alright, so let's break it down. The term Sussex Survivor Club apparently started off as a joke amongst royal insiders, all the way to the other side of the pond. But like most jokes, there's a bit of truth behind it, if not a lot of truth. It's all about people who have worked for Meghan and Harry and felt like they could barely escape with their sanity intact. Picture it. A support group where everyone's sipping tea, both literally and figuratively, and venting about the impossible demands these two have in endless drama. Seriously, the fact that the term even exists is wild. We're not just talking about one or two people here. We're talking about different countries as well. It's a pattern of staff turnover and some eyebrows raising stories to make you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes. It would kind of shift a little bit and move the focus to our level. You know, there's people exactly like her. This is why you and I can always relate to stories like this, because we've had bosses that we've had to just keep up with or maintain the job. We needed the job. We needed the money. Even though our boss was exhausting to deal with, we had to keep that job. Or some of us were lucky enough to be able to quit our job and go on to the next one because that boss was just terrible to work for. All right, so let's talk about some key players. And I'm only going to mention the key ones, top ones, because these people are professionals in their field with years of experience. They were able to work with high profile names, except these two. So we're only going to name the top of the cream because I know there's a whole slew of people underneath that, but we're just going to concentrate on people like Samantha Cohen. Samantha Cohen was called the Panther, and she worked for the Queen for over 17 years, almost 20. I think it was 18 years before stepping in to help. It was only to help Meghan Markle and Harry, but even with all that experience, she reportedly left feeling completely burnt out. It's like having an MVP like Samantha Cohen in your team and then suddenly realizing you're in a game with no rules or referees. That's how it feels to have a leader that doesn't know how to lead. You just feel lost, like, hey, what happened? Where are the boundaries? Where are the rules? Where are the policies? Why are you not putting them into place? Why are you throwing away the book? This woman worked for 18 years for the royal palace until becoming the Queen's private secretary. This shows class and professionalism. 18 years. You do not work for 18 years without a legacy behind you. And Samantha Cohen has that legacy of class and professionalism and being able to be good at her job and do what she needed to do and abide by the rules. And people were happy with her job that she became the private secretary of the Queen. But when she worked for Harry and Meghan, Valentine Lowe said in his article, Sam Cohen always made it clear that it was like working for a couple of teenagers. There were a few hints here. Samantha was only supposed to work for 6 months, but ended up working for them for 18 because they couldn't find a replacement. Okay, so this sounds like Meghan was saying no to everyone. And there's two reasons that I believe she ended up working up to 18 months for them, even though it was supposed to be a temporary position for her. I feel like Meghan kept saying like, no, she's not good enough. No, she's not good enough, in order to elongate Samantha working for them. She was trying to keep Samantha in that place, and she was successful until 18 months, until Samantha's like, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done. You guys are not great to work with. You and I can relate to that. If you ever had a boss that you're like, you know what, I'd rather be poor or be broke than having to work this job. I'd rather go work for someone else. So we completely understand the scenario because we've had people like that. We've worked for bosses like that where we're like, you know what, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. And that's how it seems like Samantha was. She was done with it. She's like, you know what, you can't find a replacement. I've tried to help you for 18 months and still nothing is coming of it. I'm leaving. I'm out. So let's go on to the next top one, which is Jason Nuff. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but let's continue. This guy went from working with the Royal Palace since 2015 to working with Meghan and Harry, and then filing a formal complaint about Meghan. And this, I apologize, this cracks me up because this was probably one of the first times that we saw the crack. We were able to see things were happening, there was something in there that we weren't sure about it, but Jason Nuff was like, here's the complaint. I am formally putting a complaint, and that's what you do. Or if you're trying to protect everybody else that's underneath you, you're the guy on top, you're like, you know what, I've seen it, I've witnessed it, let me go ahead and put the complaint. That's what you do with these kind of bosses or leaders that believe that they can lead, but they don't. You have to file a complaint and then see what the higher ups say about it. So once Jason left, the leaks that followed were like throwing gasoline on the already raging fire. Jason was pretty much the igniter because I think he was done with everything. He's like, you know what, I'm done, I'm out. If she's going to continue being part of the royal family, I'm out. And I can definitely see that happening. So then fast forward to sunny California in Archwell. That hasn't exactly been paradise of stability. Catherine St. Laurent. Oh, Catherine St. Laurent, their first chief of staff, formerly Melinda Gates' right-hand woman. Do you know what it takes to be a right-hand woman or a right-hand man? They have to trust you with not only business, but personal information. Once you become somebody's right-hand man or right-hand woman, you will know their routine from back to front, right to left, from everything. That means they trust you. And this woman left in less than a year. She was able to work with the creme of the creme, the top elite Melinda Gates, and she was not able to survive the Sussexes. So the rumor mill just got bigger and the club got more members. Now, let's go a little bit more. Let's dig a little deeper because things get juicier. Let's talk about what these former staff members have said. Multiple reports, such as the Hollywood Reporter, describe staff members reduced to tears, feeling like they were walking on eggshells. One person even called it emotional cruelty. But the former staff say that privately, the reality didn't always match up and it was definitely different. And of course, the NDAs are everywhere. Because if you're wondering why more people have not spilled the tea, it's because of those NDAs. Because legally, they can't. But honestly, the stuff that has already been leaked is enough to make you wonder, how bad is it in the background? Because I always want you guys to put yourself on that level or in their shoes. Because we've all had leaders like this that don't know how to lead at times. And even when people ask you, they're like, I'm sorry, I know he's bad or I know she's bad. The first thought in your head is usually like, you have no idea. If you could only be in my shoes, you would know how bad they are. And this is how I feel about the Sussex Survivor Club. We can only imagine how bad it is in the background. Because if this is already bad enough, imagine in the background. Imagine being in the shoes of these employees. So, all right, let's talk about the big question. What does this all say about Meghan's leadership? Meghan's transition from actress in Hollywood to royal duchess and then later nonprofit leader seems to have been bumpy, to say the least. It's like trying to combine a reality show with a period drama. The vibes just don't match. Also, critics keep on saying that Meghan has this my way or the highway, which works great if you're a solo entrepreneur because you have to do everything yourself, but not if you're working as a team. And I think because she ran the TIG, I don't know how big her team was, but I can assure you it wasn't that big. She was able to run the TIG with just one or two people, but she gave directives and the directives were done. Like, it was easy for her because the team wasn't as big. She was practically a solopreneur. Meghan and Harry's response to criticism is usually deflection or denial, which works for a while until it doesn't. Because it usually works one time. You'll be lucky if it works a second time. But when more and more reports start compiling one after another, it's not going to work anymore. because people want accountability, not excuses.
In May 2024, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle brought on Josh Kettler, a seasoned public relations expert with an impressive track record as their chief of staff. Kettler wasn't just any hire. He was a respected professional known for excelling in his field, making his appointment a significant move for the Sussexes. His role involved guiding Prince Harry through key initiatives. He also joined the couple on a high profile 3-day visit to Nigeria, where they met with government officials and engaged in diplomatic efforts. Despite these notable engagements, Kettler's time with the Sussexes was brief, lasting just 3 months. According to reports, he was hired on a trial basis, and this makes me giggle because he is a guy that you don't hire on a trial basis. You know you want him. You want him in your business. Anyways, it was said that both sides mutually decided the fit wasn't right. However, his departure highlights a reoccurring pattern as it follows a string of resignations from individuals who were not just employees but respected professionals at the top of their game. So, with that said, this is just another incident in addition to the growing narrative surrounding the Sussex and their workplace dynamic. When professionals with remarkable resumes are unable to find footing within an organization, it raises serious questions about the environment and expectations placed on those hired to support their vision.
Because this channel, we focus on learning from others and their mistakes, so we will not do the same in our businesses. What can we as a collective learn from all of this? Well, let me tell you. Whether you're running a palace, nonprofit, or YouTube channel, creating a supportive, respect workplace is non-negotiable. If your staff feels like they need a survival club, then you're doing something wrong. Another thing that we can learn is that consistency is key. If your public image doesn't match your private actions, people will notice. And in the age of social media, people will call you out faster than you can say Sussex squad. And at the end of the day, we all mess up. But how you handle those mistakes say everything about your character. We might not like it, we might feel embarrassed, but we have to take accountability and learn from it and not repeat actions. Because denial and deflection might work in the short term, but accountability is what wins long term. People will always admire others that take accountability, learn from it, and change direction. All right, friends, so that is the tea on the Sussex squad. Whether it's burned out staff, leaked allegations, or questionable leadership styles, this saga is a masterclass in what not to do as a leader or public figure. But now I want to hear from you. I hang out in the comment section after every video is public. And if you're feeling like an honorary member of the Sussex Survivor Club after surviving this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.